What is up, guys, and welcome back to another episode of my F1 2016 mobile career mode. Today we have episode number 22 for my home race at the British Grand Prix. So if you missed the previous episode, check it out. That was the Austrian Grand Prix, and I presume you've probably watched it all by now because it's uploaded about a week ago again. But seriously, I will be able to get back to frequent uploads during the Christmas holidays. Just bear with me for the next couple of days until school stuff is out of the way, and then we should be okay. So anyway, today we have the British Grand Prix, as I said, and we're currently leading the championship by 27 points, so we can afford to have a bad race, but equally, I want to win for my home fans.
Welcome to Silverstone, home of the British Grand Prix. This iconic track held the very first World Championship Formula One race back in 1950, and it's a firm favourite amongst the fans and drivers alike.
So here we are on the grid at the British Grand Prix. We only qualified P9. However, I also qualified on the medium compound of tyres. So we're going to be going for the alternate strategy today. We're going to be trying something different in the hope of having some speed at the end of the race. We're going to go medium to soft as opposed to soft to medium as we now get ready to rev up to 5 red lights for the British Grand Prix, and I haven't got the correct camera settings. Anyway, we're underway at Silverstone, and it's been a decent start considering we're on the medium tyres, and we're side by side with Valtteri Bottas as we're heading into turn 1. The Williams is going to get ahead. There's Grosjean on my outside as well. Bottas twitches a little bit for some reason. He backs out behind Perez at the end of the pit lane exit, so for now we're going to remain in P9. There's not much different there. Meanwhile, Nico Rosberg still remains in the lead ahead of Lewis Hamilton. Then they're 3 wide up ahead with Massa, Ricciardo, Raikkonen and Vettel. It's 4 wide in front of me, and they're still going at it as we head down the first straight, down the Wellington straight. Here we go, we're side by side with Nico Hülkenberg, and that's Kimi Raikkonen kicking up lots of dust there. Later on the brakes, we're going to try and go up the inside of Nico Hülkenberg. I've got Sergio Perez on my outside, this second Force India. That turns to the inside. Perez uses the grass for some reason, and he gets ahead, but look at Hamilton and Raikkonen both slotting in. I've made contact with Perez. Hamilton's all the way down in 6th, so I've no idea what's happened to him there. Hülkenberg kicking up lots of grass. I have to be careful so as to avoid any of this carnage, and then Jenson Button comes out of absolutely nowhere and forces me off the track at Cops, but we're going to go side by side through Maggots and Beckett's. Round the outside, I try and hold it, dip a tyre on the grass, but in the end the McLaren gets through. Onto the hangar straight we go then. We're still going to see if we can stick within the DRS of these cars in front, but I'm being put under pressure by Kimi Raikkonen. Here comes the Ferrari trying to make himself large in the wing mirrors. There he goes, he's trying to go to the outside. In the end the Iceman backs out of that. Recently retired from Formula 1 of course in real life, but no, Kimi does the switchback. But in the end we're going to turn defence into attack as we go up the inside of Jenson Button into the final chicane. And there we go, we're back up into P8 at the end of lap number 1. And again moving on a little bit later into lap number 2. Here goes Raikkonen trying to go up the inside into Brooklands. Here we go, he's going to go wheel to wheel through the next long right hander we go. Raikkonen still there on the outside. I've got a Williams in my wing mirrors. In the end somehow I managed to survive that one, and I'm going to stay ahead for the time being, but I just seem to have absolutely no pace, where compared to the Red Bull Ring I seem to be doing really well compared to the AI as well. So that was another very interesting point to make as we're now on to lap number 5, and this is Valtteri Bottas making himself really big in the wing mirrors. Bottas is going to go down the inside at Brooklands. I'm going to try and fight it if I can. Here we go, side by side with the other Iceman, the other man from Finland, but in the end Bottas has got that move done. And next up, Mr. Carlos Sainz, Mr. Smooth Operator himself in the Toro Rosso. But again, I don't know why I'm really struggling for pace. It's probably because I'm on the medium compound of tyre, but even so you'd expect by now the soft tyres to be wearing out a little bit, and that's exactly the case. We get to the end of the lap, Bottas has already dropped me. So this is a really interesting case now of me just having absolutely no pace, and we've got more cars in the pit lane. One of them is my teammate Daniel Ricciardo. He's going to be on pit exit here, And there we go, Ricciardo's out in front of me, so I'm not going to put up any resistance to that at all. I'm going to try and help Daniel's race out, and in a way I'm going to see if I can protect the Honey Badger from any cars attacking behind me. So this is where I'm going to try and do the team a favour and play the little bit of the team game to see if I can keep Carlos Sainz behind me for as long as possible, but it's not going to be much use. The Toro Rosso's much faster. I don't know why I have so little pace. Even with DRS, Sainz is going to go up the inside. We're going to try and resend it back down the inside, but I've gone in too deep. The tyre wear kicking in now. In the end, there's absolutely nothing I can do. The understeer is going like crazy on these old tyres. I accidentally hit the rear of Sainz there as we come out of the corner. We seem to get a better exit, but now we're going to get in the slipstream of the Toro Rosso, heading down towards Copse, but it's not going to be enough, and the Spaniard is going to keep the place for now, unfortunately. And now into lap number 7, going through the very same corner. Sainz has again dropped me considerably, and now the other Spaniard of Fernando Alonso is making himself big in the wing mirrors. The McLaren following me through Maggots and Beckett's. I just seem so slow, the AI catching up to me so easily. There goes Fernando Alonso, forcing me onto the grass. We're going wheel to wheel, banging wheels, making contact. Here goes Alonso, he's got DRS as we're heading down the straight, but in the end Alonso for some reason backs out of that. I don't know why he did that, but anyway, we are going to make our pit stop now. I'm going to get off these tyres and get onto the softs. I'm only in P7 due to pit stops being made in front of me, and this is going to be our one scheduled pit stop of the British Grand Prix. We'll be going onto the soft tyres, and I'm going to alter the setup slightly to hopefully mean we can have a click lower on the front wing, hopefully allowing us to be quicker on the straights. But as we're exiting the pits, it doesn't look very promising for us. We're going to be side by side with Esteban Gutierrez, the Mexican in the Haas, trying to go around the outside. But in the end, I'm just going to defend the corner and ensure I keep the position. It was very important we got ahead of the Haas driver there because we needed to be in clean air. But either way, we're all the way down into P15. So it doesn't look very promising in terms of me scoring points here today. And now look, we've caught up to Kimi Raikkonen again, who's just pitted the Iceman. This is the battle you all came to see. Kimi, interestingly, has gone on to Haas. There's only a few laps left of this Grand Prix now, so hopefully we might be able to have the pace advantage over the man in the Ferrari. And we've got a great exit there. We're going to go wheel to wheel towards Copse. Surely I'm not going to try and go down the inside of Copse. There we go. We slightly made contact with Kimi's front wing, but in the end I managed to aggressively barge my way through. I'm not sure at the time whether I was a little bit over aggressive there, whether I really had to cut across Kimi so much. But either way, in the end, what I'm actually going to do is I'm going to give the place back, because I decided while recording that that was kind of an unfair overtake, that I didn't give him enough chance and just suddenly cut across him and left him no room. So we're going to let Kimi go back through, and there we're going to press on with our own race once again and see if we can set him up down in towards the final chicane. But it doesn't look as if that's going to be likely. We can, however, massively close up to go later on the brakes, heading onto the Hamilton straight now. Is there going to be potentially a chance we could get Kimi into turn 3? We need to see if we can stay nice and tight, but unfortunately the Iceman gets a great exit out of the last corner, and it looks as if we might struggle to do that. However, we do seem to have decent straight line speed now, better than before the pit stops. I'm going to try and have a half look there. In the end, Kimi broke suddenly, which allowed me the opportunity to try and see if I could get my car up the inside. I've made contact with the rear of the Ferrari again. This is a great battle. I'm just looking for every possible opportunity to get through. DRS down the Wellington straight, but as we're heading to Brooklands, it still doesn't look like it's going to be enough for me to get through. And this is really frustrating me now, unless we can go around the outside and up the inside again. Yes, we can. Kimi's still there on the outside, but no. In the end, he gives the place up. And finally, I've managed to get through on Kimi Raikkonen. But by the time we get to the similar place on the next lap, Kimi just flies back down my inside again. How am I supposed to compete with that? Where on earth has the Ferrari found that straight line speed from? But either way, Kimi's back ahead. DRS assisted on the Wellington straight. Can we get him back instantly though? We seem to have got a better exit. The tyre wear starting to kick in now for me. Into the slipstream of the Ferrari. I've accidentally made contact with him again. Are we going to try and go up the inside of Copse again? Yes, we are. This time there's no contact, and we're back into P9, or maybe not, because here goes Kimi again. He's trying to all sort of have a half look down the outside of the Maggots and Beckett's S section. In the end, the Ferrari quite sensibly backs out of that. I didn't fancy going wheel to wheel with him through there. Thank you very much. So we're going to defend the position and keep P9 for now. Massive 5.4 down the road, and now on to lap 12. Look at that. That is the understeer. That is the tyre wear kicking in. Look, I'm absolutely all over the place, and there goes Raikkonen. Once again, the Iceman has got through, and I've no idea how many times I've mentioned his name throughout this race, but it's probably quite a few. because he's been racing a bit under the radar so far this season, but we've really seen a lot of Kimi Raikkonen at the British Grand Prix here in Season 2. But this time, here goes Esteban Gutierrez trying to barge his way down my inside. We've got a Toro Rosso in the background. I think that's Kvyat. Gutierrez is still there. In the end, I'll have to leave him the space, trying to not go off the track if I can. But through cops, I'm going to edge ahead as the Mexican backs out of a move for now. Wow, but here comes Gutierrez again. He's trying to have a look down the other side into Magas and Beckett's, making sure I leave the space. But in the end, once again, the Haas backs out of it. I just don't know why I'm causing such a backlog of cars. And there we go. There's a tyre on the grass. And again, I'm absolutely all over the place. And now, here comes Esteban Gutierrez again. He might try and have a look down the inside. No, he doesn't. He backs out of it. But here comes Danny Kvyat in the wing mirrors. In the end, he backs out of it as well. At least the AI being sensible, Kvyat backing out of it. I'm not sure this time last season if he would have managed to do that actually, but again, this is the final lap of the Grand Prix now, and there goes the Russian. There's not much I can do. Kvyat almost forcing me off track. The Toro Rosso getting through on the senior Red Bull car, and unfortunately, that is all our points gone for this race. Raikkonen has run off into the distance now. Kvyat has taken P10 away from me, and it looks as if Gutierrez might want to try and get P11 away from me. I'm just really struggling for pace now on these soft tyres. They've really expired. But Nico Rosberg has won the British Grand Prix, and at least he won instead of Lewis Hamilton, because that means my championship lead will still be intact. But anyway, I can't defend now against Esteban Gutierrez, and there's almost no point because we're not scoring points anyway. I will still be leading the championship, and unfortunately we've had a bad race for my home crowd, but hopefully this still means that it's going to be an exciting championship fight for you guys, because myself and the two Mercedes are all separated by just 9 points. But it's a very disappointing finish here at the British Grand Prix. Hopefully we can do better next time. There's your results from my home race. We finished off the podium for the first time this season, and to be fair, we've done pretty well considering this is round 7. My teammate scores points, but thankfully, as we look to the Drivers' Championship, we're still leading, but look how close it is. Rosberg just 7 behind, Hamilton 9 behind, and it's going to be just us 3 fighting it out for this championship on track, exactly as it should be. I can't wait for Hungary, where we're going to be racing for the first time in this career mode at the next Grand Prix. That will be uploaded in a few days time. But looking at the constructors, Mercedes extending their lead. Unfortunately, it looks like it's probably going to be difficult for us to catch them. It didn't help me not scoring today, but again, Ricciardo only managed P8 as well. But hopefully again, we can bring better pace and deliver more solid points at the Hungaroring. Anyway guys, that's it for today's video. Please be sure to like, share and subscribe if you enjoyed it. Let's get to 400 subscribers. Don't forget to follow me on Instagram and join my Discord. Both links are in the description below. And I'll see you guys all next time. Goodbye.